Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer, so let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Good afternoon. Well, whatever. I don't know what time you're listening to this, but all I know is that I'm very excited about today's show. But, you know, I've been really working on being on time. And I was walking out of my apartment. It was about 10:25. Takes about 25 minutes to get here. So I'm sitting in my chair. You know, it's one of those, you know, office chair, and I go to reach. Oh, I fucking hate my apartment. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate my fucking apartment. Anyway, so I reach down to go get my backpack, and the wheels from the chair, go, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, am I really going to fall? You know that like split second where you're like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking fall. So I fell and I, of course, hit the coffee all over my goddamn desk. So I was 4 minutes late. Fuck! That's a kill me now moment. I can't fucking take it. Anyway, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about today's show. I'm so excited. We are excited about today's show. We are excited about today's show. It is today's show and we're excited. All right. Okay.
How did we both know that song?
Because you are one of the greatest musicians.
Oh, stop.
You are. I don't know if you recognize that voice, but that voice is fucking gold. No pun intended.
It's the Judy Show.
That is the incredible. If there was ever an announcer, I mean, you should just be making billions doing voiceovers.
This is. I'm available.
Yes. I want him to be. Can he record something for us?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
It would
Ladies
be my
and
pleasure.
gentlemen, or I don't know. Our listeners are not gentlemen, are they?
We've got gentlemen.
No,
for
I
sure.
mean, but are they? Do they act like gentlemen?
Oh yeah, a couple of them do.
Okay, that's Hennessy, even though I'm still pissed at him. All right. Anyway, Hennessy's here. We have received numerous emails about the interruptions.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get better. I
Okay.
got excited. I'm really gonna get better.
Okay, and
Starting now.
Okay, our guest today is the incredible, unbelievably talented Rick Crom, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Crom.
Thank you
is
so
here.
much.
But
Very nice.
we have a change. Patrick is not here. Seth is here because.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Seth. Because Patrick got a little upset about.
I'm a little upset too.
Why?
Well, you kind of owe me an apology.
Why? What did I do?
When I said, "Where are you Friday?" and you're
Oh,
you're
right.
an idiot.
So all right. Let me just tell you something. I try to be as organized as possible, but you know, Ben has. I swear to God, he had 6 games this weekend. 6 basketball games.
Wow.
And it's like really hard to plan your life when, you know, you don't even know. Like, it's like if they win, then they have another game. And they had 3 games yesterday. So I wrote Friday. Today's Monday. This will air tomorrow, right? Tuesday. And
Judy was wrong. Once in her life.
I was
And
wrong. I said Friday, 11 a.m.
And you lit me up.
No, I didn't. I said, I did not light
did,
you up.
You did too. What are you, an idiot? You're worse than Pat. Oh my God.
No, oh God, now is he going to listen to this?
No.
Of
All right,
course
good.
he is.
I mean,
He's in the closet right
do
now.
you think,
That's a whole other show.
do you think he's going to, well, whatever.
No.
So he got upset. I don't even know.
Judy was making fun of someone and they got butthurt. It never happens.
I wasn't even
No.
bad. I was just I was like, oh, because, you know, sometimes he doesn't participate.
No, you were more of a bully than that, but but he
You
can't.
didn't say like you have to water
having
him.
done this show for 2.5 years, he shouldn't be surprised. You were definitely joking with him. It was coming from love, and
There was no love there.
but whatever.
What are you talking about, Seth?
Not everyone is
All right, Rick doesn't want to hear this shit.
A masochist.
Okay.
This is like my favorite soap opera now.
So Rick Crom,
Yes.
I think I've known Rick
Lady.
since about 1987, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. So
Probably.
Rick Crom is known for many things. He is beloved in the comedy community.
Beloved.
Yes, I mean,
That's,
he has an interesting life, but I have to say that every comic. Do you have any people who don't like you?
not. There are some, but it's not people in the comedy world. It's
Right.
generally people in the theater world.
Don't like you? Well, they're
There are
so
some-
dramatic. I mean, I've
They're
done
very
some
dramatic.
theater, and
Yeah.
it is. I'm not kidding. It is high school.
Oh, it's worse than high school.
Yeah.
But, like, I did some shows, like, in the 80s
Right.
that went off-Broadway, little
Right.
things that I wrote.
Yes.
And, people think, well, I was in your show at the Duplex
Right.
in 1984.
Why are you?
Ergo, why
Yeah.
am I not on this off-Broadway production?
Right.
Well, they bought the contract and they didn't
Right.
want you. Well,
Right.
You mean you went without me? Yes. Yes, I took the contract. Yes.
Welcome to show business.
Welcome to show business. I don't get carried along in everything I do.
Right.
Oh, you
I
should.
did. You know what? Now we fast forward 40 years. I did this pilot for Great News on
Right.
what is it? CBS?
Oh, we're at CBS
I
right
think
now.
so.
I'll look it up.
It's NBC, I think.
Oh, all right.
Anyway, and I'm playing Andrea Martin's husband, and it's one of those things where you
How
don't
much
see
do
the
you
guy's
love
face.
it? She was a guest. How great is she?
She's
Yeah.
fantastic.
All right, go.
You
You
and
know.
Andrea Martin's kid.
Okay, stop.
Can you imagine though?
Yeah, I know.
Interruption.
But no.
Not on the same
But
topic.
it's the same thing. I did the one episode, hired as a day player. I think, I've got a series. I didn't have
Right.
a series. I was just there for the day.
Right.
And so what am I going to go?
It's horrible.
Am I going to go around and go,
Yeah.
how dare you
Right.
hurt my feelings? So yeah, there are people who I've disappointed over the years that
Right.
that
But not
hold a grudge.
intentionally. It's
Not-
just
I try not to.
right.
Well, I
Now-
did used to drink, so I have said some things
Right.
under the influence that
Right.
I've had to walk back. But yeah,
I don't remember you as a drinker.
no, I usually kept that out of the club.
Right.
Until one day I was on, I switched to gin. I was drinking wine because that made me happy.
What color?
Red wine.
Yeah, my
it made me
favorite.
so happy. I'd be in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, come here, I'll blow you. Very happy.
Right.
Yeah. And then I switched to gin because I was getting fat on the red
Yeah,
wine.
I've switched over to vodka.
Oh my God! Well, that makes you a little mean.
It does?
Yeah, gin. Gin.
Shut up. I hardly have any. I'm a Jew. I can't. It's
Yeah.
like one. If I have
Oh.
two, I'm like,
Gin makes you say things like, "You know what your problem is."
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So you
But
grew,
anyway, not bad though.
So Rick Crom grew
Yes.
up in Chicago,
Grew up in Chicago.
the
Yes.
son of an investment banker.
Nope.
No, that's not true. Your dad was a printer.
A printer.
Oh, fuck. I was listening to an interview, and one of your friends' parents were in the audience, and he was wearing a suit. One of your yes, and he was
Walker.
and he was an investment banker, and you said whatever.
His father. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So your father was a printer. Your mother stayed at home until your younger sister was in high school.
This is amazing. You're like Ralph Edwards, and this is your life. You know
Yes.
all of this about me. Yes.
And then she
stayed
worked in
home.
a bake shop.
She ran the Jewel Bake Shop in Chicago.
Jewel.
the-
There's a JEW in that. Okay.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Jewel.
Yes, she was a bake shop manager.
What did she do? Oh, she managed it. Was she a good cook?
Yeah, she was okay, but
Yeah.
but basically it was one of those food chain stores
Right.
where they make the cookies and the bread and you go
Right.
and so
Did she steal shit from there and bring it home?
We always had product in the house. Whether she paid for it or not, I do not know. We do not
So-
know, but Dolly, her name was Dolly.
Oh, I love that name.
Yes.
Of course.
Dolly. Her real name was Thelma, but Dolly. She was always known as Dolly. And she would smuggle a few cookies here and there.
And
Yeah.
so you're the middle child.
Oh yes. Can't
So
you
you're
tell?
mentally ill,
I'm
and
mentally,
then
I can't make a decision to save my life.
two sisters,
One sister,
younger
sister,
and older brother.
one older brother. That's right.
And what does he do?
Now,
Yeah.
he did what my father
Printer.
did. Was a lithographer, offset printer.
Right.
In the day, years ago, there was before digital.
Years
you had
ago.
to, there were little
Years
dots,
ago.
and you had
Right.
to actually have
Yeah.
pictures on paper that
Right.
had to be proofed. So he did that. My
You
brother,
know, I
my
was
brother
a
just
typesetter.
retired.
I was a typesetter
You
to
were?
make extra money when I started doing
With
stand-up.
Gutenberg?
Was he a typesetter?
Like he invented the press.
Oh, right.
So-
Oh, I thought you meant Steve Gutenberg.
No.
Dumb.
That was his
All
dad.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was a very fast typer, and I would code the stuff, and it was, and then
Oh.
eventually I just did it for a magazine in exchange for health insurance because I'm a Jew,
Sure.
and Jews need health insurance. Okay,
Absolutely. Whether you're sick or not.
Hey.
You're going to the doctor.
so
Is this something? I saw this morning. Is this
What?
something?
Yeah.
This mark on my. Is
Yeah.
That, you
a
slept on your-
raisin.
It's a raisin.
what part of Chicago did you grow up in?
North. First of all, by the until I was 12, we lived near Wrigley Field.
Oh,
which
nice.
Is Wrigley Field. You know, for those of you Chicago listeners,
Yeah.
around Sheffield and Diversey. Then we moved out a little further west, like the Irving Park and Cicero, the Portage Park area, northwest side.
Any Jews in this area?
A few Jews. Most of the Jews are in Rogers Park and Skokie.
Yeah, because Skokie has a lot of Holocaust survivors.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I had relatives in Chicago, but they were on Lakeshore.
You have fancy Jews.
Yeah, they were fancy.
Fancy
Lakeshore Drive. And so I have to go to Rosemont this week.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It is?
The Zanies.
Yeah. Is it good?
It's a wonderful little club.
Have you been?
I have been there. I did a guest set there.
Yeah, but you don't have to sit in the fucking Crown Plaza Airport Hotel for 4 days being depressed and wanting to kill yourself.
Well, you'll do that anywhere, but
Right.
But
That is true.
but there are things that you can go outside.
I want to go to the art. I love the Chicago Art Museum.
Yeah, I
and
think-
but you can't. It's like I'm gonna have to take a car to Chicago.
No, you all you need to do is take
The L.
take the L. I don't think it goes out to Rosemont, but it's very close. You can take an Uber to the L.
Okay.
And then
Because
shoot
I
right
love
downtown.
Chicago, but
Oh,
they
it's
put me at the
gorgeous.
Zanies in Rosemont.
Yeah, it's a great club.
I know. I've been there once before.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to you.
Yes.
So you're in Chicago, and were you like in high school? Were you popular and stuff?
No, well, not the first 2 years.
Right.
When I was, because my brother was the jock. He was the.
Oh God,
He
that's
was the guy. Oh
horrible.
yeah, he was.
Was
you
he
know,
on the football team and
It was
everything?
baseball. He was a baseball guy.
God.
And he was, just an incredible
Girls.
athlete.
Yeah.
He could have been a professional baseball player if he stuck to it, but that's
He
another
didn't
story.
have the.
The chutzpah. There you go.
Thank you.
I learned that word. But I started, I think, junior year. I thought, you know what, I was playing the guitar and doing
Right.
impressions,
So
and I
it-
wanted to be a comedian. So they had these high school talent shows.
Right.
So I did one with a musical partner in my sophomore year. And all of a sudden,
Right.
a whole new world opened up.
Right. It's a whole new.
Yeah.
world. Patrick would cut that out, by
Yeah.
the way. Go ahead.
We don't have licensing for
Yeah.
that. That's the. Yeah, so I started doing the producing the talent shows. We do a review, and we
But
have,
you did, and did you have a piano in your house or?
we had a piano. I was trained on the guitar.
Okay.
So we had a piano a little later, so I didn't.
Did you ask for it?
Yeah, I did. Only because there was one next door that
Right.
some old lady had died, and they were getting
Right.
rid of it. And I said, "Can we have it?"
Dad, can someone take my piano? All right, so
Yeah. So, yeah. So
was
that's when I
anyone
s-
else musical in the family?
Yeah, my brother took accordion lessons, and I took accordion lessons.
Wow, that's a hard instrument to play.
He's great at it. He's great
I'm
at it.
sick
but-
of him already.
I'm
He's
sick
a
of him
fucking
already.
baseball player and a good accordion player.
Yeah,
Fuck
and they
him.
just, well,
All right.
you know, he just
an
he
asshole.
wanted to be normal. And,
Right.
I mean, you can't
Straight.
blame.
Yeah.
Yeah, straight, normal
Yeah.
kids, everything. You know,
Are you close with him?
we're not real close.
Right.
We're not
Far.
estranged.
Right,
but,
right.
But growing up, we had absolutely nothing
Nothing
in
in
common,
common.
and then I moved away.
Okay.
So
you go,
But
so
anyway.
you
My God,
started
this is like
doing.
a Jerry Springer. This is like a Dr. Phil.
Did you? So you started doing these talent shows,
The talent shows, and then community theater.
and
at
people
the
were
time.
like, "Oh, Rick Crom's very talented."
And all of a sudden, I was not the kid they were just making
Right.
fun of. The kid was.
What would they call you? Because we're very honest here, and I got called Bigfoot and Sasquatch every day of my life.
I had a huge nose at the time. I don't know if,
Right.
this is some work. I don't know if you ever knew
You
that.
did?
Oh, it was a monument. Phyllis Diller once told me, "Don't get that nose fixed. It's
Really?
it's a monument."
Like how bad? How big?
It was another finger bigger. So like
No
that.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, who had the nose in your family?
Everybody. My grandfather had a nose like a vacuum, and my father had.
You got a good nose job because it doesn't
Yeah.
look like you got a nose job.
Right.
It looks great.
It's just a little.
Yeah.
We did minimalism.
Right.
Just put it into proportion.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but they were all over me, and they called me. I think I blocked the names out.
Yeah. It's so horrible.
But they would give you weird names.
Right.
Like there was like a character called.
Sorry, that was just.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There was a weird cartoon character called Irving. And
Yeah.
apparently I looked like him, so they would call me that, and they would scream it across. I'm like, what
I
are
know.
you
It's
talking
like
about?
I could not walk down the fucking hallway.
No.
It was so torture. It was like,
No.
can you just fucking leave me alone?
No imagination behind these names either.
I
They're
think-
like the simplest.
Yeah,
But they're dumb. They're
Yeah.
like Donald Trump. It's like they're Donald Trump names. Like wacky, you know,
Yeah, they're just meant to
Nasty
cut you
little-
down.
crooked, you know.
Cut you down to size. They used to come to my house the first 2 years. Can I have the sad violin music? No, the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because I would never react like somebody would. I would never get like really furious.
Right.
I would just do like a slow burn, and they loved that. Apparently, they would come to my house to say, "Hey, you want to come out and hang out?" Sure,
Yeah.
I come out, and then they would make fun of me.
Right. I had this.
For hours and hours.
Right.
Every day for 2 years. And so when I realized that since I had a skill, like a talent where
Right.
I could do funny voices and I could sing and I
Right.
could play, and that impressed them. Oh, this is my secret weapon.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was the turning point.
Right.
Yeah. I think with all performers, you have a point where you're like, aha,
Right.
look it. I just sang a funny song and everybody in the school applauded for me.
Right.
That'll show you.
Yeah, you fucking assholes.
Yeah, go catch another fucking football.
Yeah.
Put that on your resume.
I remember I used to think I would see, myself in the march. I was very musical too,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would see video of myself in the marching band, and I was like, oh, that's why they pick them. And like it was horrible. It's like I was gigantic. But they used to cut. It's like you had no. Thank God there was no internet then, because it would have been
God.
fucking forget it.
I would have.
I couldn't even go out and get the mail on our mailbox without someone yelling shit. All right,
Oh,
so
we're like the same person that
it's
way.
horrible.
It's
And
unbelievable.
I didn't walk by a schoolyard till I was in my 30s, and then I had my kids.
This is
Yeah.
this is when I wish I could go back in time
And fucking beat the shit out of these
and beat the
kids.
shit out
Yeah.
of them. Oh, I would love it. I would get all
But
of them, the ones that came
we're
to you and you in a
survivors.
room together.
We're survivors.
Yeah, but when you see these things, these stories about kids going nuts because they've been bullied and causing violence in
Right.
the school. I won't be more graphic than that. You think that's horrible, but I kind of get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I kind of get it.
Did I tell this story last time? But I was just in Boca. And and I'm doing this gig, right? And I have a joke in my act about how everyone in the LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ community now there's all these rules and all these gender fluids and this and that getting insulted if you don't so one of my jokes is about how I was called Bigfoot and Sasquatch for 18 years and I'm fine, so get over it, I'm so sorry, someone made a mistake, it's so this guy comes up to me after the show and he's like, I went to high school with you. And I was like, oh, I don't, he was a year younger. And I try to block out all 4 years. And so his wife said to me, when you said that joke, he had already told me on the way in that everyone abused me and called me Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And so then when I said it on stage, she was like, oh, and I was like, oh my God, because he had already told me that. And I was like, that's what he remembers of me, is the kids fucking, you know what I mean? And it was like, ugh, I fucking hate them.
And
All right.
did he say it like, hey, I was one of the people?
No, he said it.
I helped you with your
He wasn't.
act.
He definitely wasn't one of the people.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It was like, that's what you remember. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
it's fine. So then,
Hey, what
You
do they
guys
do?
are hilarious,
We're
and I'm grateful for all of your pain because
okay,
you're
great.
two of the
Shut
funniest
the fuck
people
up.
ever.
Now
We're in show business. They're
VP,
at Kmart.
VP.
It's true.
Yeah.
So VP is voice probation. That's
Oh.
what. Yeah,
Oh.
I have to get you. We should get a little list for everyone before. All right, so
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with a Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Okay, so then you graduate high school.
Yes.
And you don't go to college. You go to Chicago City Limits. Is that correct?
I graduated high school. Let's see, how was old? I was 36. No, I was 18.
Right.
And I'm going back now, but I went to a little community college because I wanted to get some music theory courses.
I love music theory.
Yeah, I can Mixolydian scale you up and down.
I love that.
But I wanted music school theory, and I wanted to get psychology because I knew I was going to be a writer and a musician of some sort. I had already written some tiny little musicals and stuff.
Right.
But I worked in a record store. Remember record stores?
Oh God.
Oh, we'd sell needles.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember
45s.
Just remember. I remember.
You got her going now.
Getting stoned, right? And that was if I had worked really hard, my prize for myself, my reward was getting an album or two, Sure. And I'd say you'd be in the fucking record store for hours reading liner notes, and it was just, and then remember when you'd go home and you'd put it on and you'd just sit there and then you'd turn it over. I mean, no one fucking does that.
No, that's when you could actually feel the music because you had it in your hand.
Right.
Yeah.
And an album was a story. You know what I mean? It was whatever. All right.
So anyway, I worked in a record store.
What was the name of the record store?
Oh, Music Land.
Oh, okay.
Music Land in some
It
department
wasn't like
store.
Sam Goodies or anything.
No, they didn't exist at that point.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot how old you are.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
They were all on Edison rolls at that time. They were. Our biggest seller was Mary Had a Little Lamb. That was our big seller.
Yeah.
He did that. I was in a wedding band. I played guitar and sang in a wedding band for 2 years called the Gigolos.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was all.
And now you know you're gay at this point.
I know at 18.
Right.
That something is different.
Right.
Because I was when is this whole liking girls thing kick in? When is this supposed to happen?
And you had no experience before that with a guy or anything?
No, just your usual, fooling around with the kid down the block, kind of touchy, no comparing, showing, but all the
nothing,
Yeah, nothing.
No anal, go.
There was no anal. There was no anal. There was no oral. There was just look at that. Oh, look at this. It was.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
No, but no, I was hiding that from me, but when I was 18, I'm like, okay, I think that's the story. But I did nothing about it, and really told nobody for 2 years.
Right.
Because I was a good girl.
Yeah. It's so horrible. It's the closet, and you're just you wake up with a pit in your stomach, and you have to go out in the world and lie, and it's just fucking shit. It's shit.
Right. And it's so much better now, but it's the same thing.
Right.
Because you have said this, but we all say this, that you in front of an audience, you have to lay it on them that you're gay in order for this next bit to work.
Right.
So you got to do it in a way that's not, by the way.
I'm just like, I'm a lesbian, blah, 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 blah.
Now they don't care so much, but back then,
oh my God.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I didn't tell anybody professionally.
Right.
I started doing stand-up at this little club.
I know the name of the club.
Oh, you do?
Let's see. Wait. Oh, fuck. Where is it?
Cobart's. Cobart's Comedy Code.
Woo!
Yes! Yeah, that's where I met Chicago City Limits.
Yeah.
But
so you started doing stand, and were there, there were comics then, but they were all like
at the
white guys, like the Seinfeld.
There's also Judy Tenuta.
Yes.
Worked the same club when she was young, and Emo Phillips, who was then, before he was Emo Phillips, he was Phil Sultanic was one of his names.
Yeah.
Phil Bufka was one of his names. Yeah. And he and Judy were
they were lesbian lovers. Yes.
They were lesbian lovers at the time. And then nobody else you may have heard of.
Right.
But
okay.
Good comics in Chicago. But and that's where I met Chicago City Limits. But I did not tell them that I was gay.
Right. Of course
not.
Until they caught you with a dick in your mouth at the.
I said this is nothing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had no idea. I thought this is how you tip the busboy.
Yeah. So you're
But no.
and you when you first went up, did you kill? Like usually the first time is a killer, the second time is shit fuck.
I did. I was a total hack, but I was good.
And you did impressions.
I did impressions. I
You
played
did the
guitar.
Walter Cronkite thing.
Walter Cronkite. Yes, I
Yeah.
know. That's
Yeah.
Who does a Walter Cronkite these days? Not
I know.
me.
I love. Do you know who Walter Cronkite was?
Yeah.
Because of today's unemployment situation, many
Yeah.
Hollywood celebrities have been forced to take part-time jobs. This is one of my first
Yeah.
times. Jimmy Stewart is trying his hand at becoming a square dance caller. Now swing your partner to and fro.
Ah, that's
Turn
awesome.
around and Dosey da.
Yeah.
So I did stuff like that.
Right.
You see, it's still funny.
Yeah.
Right.
But
You should go on the
really
nursing home
good.
tour.
I should.
Oh my God. They'd be like, oh yeah, that's it. All right. So,
Do the young
Mary.
Mary.
but she
Mary.
died laughing. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I did that, but I played funny, song parodies and
Right.
stuff. At the time, that was a thing because everybody in the 70s had a guitar.
right.
Because you were coming off of the 60s,
Right.
Kumbaya, all that shit. And then comedy was just starting to become a big thing. So
Right.
this phenomenon called guitar acts
Right.
started. And
John Joseph.
when I first started in Chicago, I was the only guitar act
Wow.
in Chicago. But I came to New York, and there was
John.
Dennis Blair.
Oh yeah, Dennis Blair.
There was Dennis Wolfberg.
I just burped a little bit. Sorry. Go
Remember
ahead.
Dennis
I didn't
Wolfberg?
even burp. Yeah, I loved Dennis, and
He
I
wa-
worked with the nicest guy.
Nicest guy in the world.
Melanoma. Greatest guy in the. Oh, Dennis Wolfberg. Sorry.
Yeah, and then he also, but he was a guitar act.
Was Dennis Blair Jewish? I don't know. His name's Dennis. Let's do a half. Okay.
I don't know. Blair sounds Irish though.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
All right. Yeah.
And Ron Richards. There were a lot of guitar acts. So
Right.
I stopped doing the guitar.
But you came to New York after a
I
few
was the-
years there. You came back and you went to the Duplex. I think is that correct?
Yeah.
And
the
then
Duplex was our first gig, Chicago City Limits. I was their piano player and opening act.
right. And you did a review called "Oh Fine."
Oh, fine.
and
yes.
which later became RSVP from one of the songs in the. Right.
There
Is
was
that
a-
correct?
There was a lyric in a song
Yeah.
about a high school reunion.
Right.
Very dark song for a 20-year-old to write, but
Well, duh. Look at
Yeah.
the fucking high school experience
Yeah,
you
I
had.
was-
Have you ever been to a high school reunion?
oh yes, I just went to my 40th
No
one 2 years
way.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, I'd never go.
Oh, they're hilarious.
They are.
Oh,
I
but-
hate. I feel like I would just. I still have dreams about it.
But here's what. But see, over time, when you go to your 20th high school reunion, everybody has come into themselves, and
Right.
and they're talking about, this house and this
Right.
career and those kids that they have. and all
Right.
stuff. You go to your 40th one, and it's like, who's your cardiologist?
Right.
What have you had replaced?
Yeah, right.
I had the elbow done last year.
Yeah.
I'm having the knee done this year. Here, did I?
That's
am I
kind of
still-
nice.
and
you're good.
and it was the first time I was 58 years old and the cutest one there.
Yes, that's right.
I was cute.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
amazing.
because
You're
you
the
take
cutest
care of
one
yourself.
here.
Oh, aren't you?
Excuse me. All right, so so you go to the Duplex.
Lay
You're
on the table.
You're
What?
working
No,
at the Duplex. Okay.
Yeah, working
Yeah.
at the Duplex,
And-
doing shows, and then I wrote this little review. I wrote
Right.
songs about people I had met in the village.
Right.
At the time, there was you know how there's always these phrases that people use. For many years, people would just go not.
Right,
Or they
yeah.
would go like
Psych.
What it became psych or whatever.
Right.
At that
Right.
time, it was fine.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
So I wrote a review and called it "Oh Fine."
Right.
And it was a kind of a character study of people I met in the village, and it.
And at this
Caught on.
time, are you gaying it up?
I'm gaying it up.
Yeah.
I'm gaying it.
And did you you had an apartment in the village?
I had no.
Because this is when people could
Yeah.
actually move to New York to be an artist. Now
Yes.
that is impossible. But
Yeah.
this is the late 70s, right?
This is 1979.
Okay.
79 and
that
80.
would be the latest.
The
in
latest of
yeah.
the 70s. Yes.
Okay, so and this is
Yeah.
pre-AIDS.
It's pre-AIDS.
Yeah.
There was. I was living. From apartment to apartment with,
Right.
with different people.
Right,
and,
right.
yeah, and the village was the gay part of the city.
Right.
It wasn't.
It wasn't Chelsea.
Chelsea,
or-
no.
Yeah, I know. Now it's Chelsea.
Yeah.
annoying. All right. Anyway, so and
now
you,
it's Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I was suddenly thrust into a
Realized,
thing where I could be open. My family wasn't around. I didn't have
Right.
to explain anything.
Right. This is a dick. I like to suck it. These are bulls.
These are bulls. They go
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
It's nice if you
This
put
is a
one on
tea
each
bag.
side.
Yeah. Okay.
You put one on each side. It has a nice
Yeah.
symmetry that outlines
So
the
it's
girth of
good.
the
So
penis.
you're free.
Yes.
So you're free.
So I'm
And-
free, and I'm, and I was always very. I'm a Midwestern kid, so
And you know-
so I didn't go. I'm gay, and I'm going
Right.
to talk like this, and
Right.
I'm going to. But
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong
Right.
with that.
All right.
There is just talking about voice. There's
Yes.
there was this fellow named Billy Blackwell back then,
Mm-hmm.
and he was this delightful guy, and he talked like he was right here. This is his
Right.
voice right here, right?
Yeah.
And he was, it was delightful. He said, it's my fourth mimosa. I'm so bad. And I loved his voice. I
Right.
just loved his voice. And quick story. In 1980, we were going into Iran, or Iran had the hostages.
Right.
And this guy came into the duplex, not
Right.
knowing it was a gay bar, and it was a late afternoon.
Yeah, he
and
didn't
he had
know,
this,
yeah.
and he had this like military fatigue, like probably about 25-year-old
Right.
guy, and he had this big button that's a circular button that said "Fuck Iran," right? And Billy Blackwell comes in down the stairs
Right.
at the old duplex. And he walks by, and he does a double take. He goes, "Hi, I'm Iran."
That's hilarious.
And moments later, a fight broke out.
Right.
Because this guy freaked out or
Right.
whatever, and then
Well, now we know he's totally gay.
he's totally
Yeah,
gay.
yeah,
Yeah, he was drunk,
Yeah.
and we tackled him and the cops came with. See,
Yeah.
back in the 70s, by the way, you had to know how to fight.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There were people who didn't know how to fight.
You don't know. Why are you saying, "Oh yeah"?
You
when
don't
you weren't
think
even
you
born?
don't think I know my history?
Whatever,
Of
go.
my
Yeah.
people.
Your
Yeah.
people? Go ahead.
So,
All right.
yeah,
I know you fought for me. I give you credit all the
All right.
time.
Say thank you to us.
Thank you.
All right. Go.
Yeah, so there would be a something if there was any trouble. Those of us who could,
Right.
know how to block a punch and,
And
throw
is
a
this
punch.
pre-nose job?
It's a pre-nose job.
Okay. So.
This is like 10 years before the nose job.
All right. So then.
but anyway, that's
I
what
love
would happen.
that story.
But
Nice.
I'm Iran.
So
and then he kicked his ass.
that's great. And then you. How did you meet Bill Grunfest? So then you ended up going from doing these reviews.
Let me tell
Right.
you what. This is a little area between 1981 and 84, which is when I went to the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Chicago City Limits. I wasn't doing stand-up that much.
Right.
Lucian didn't like me at all.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, he was.
You're very
yeah.
talented, but
Did you ever work the strip?
Not until he died.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I did
He
look-
was one of my first. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he told me. I think I've told this that you're a woman. You're Jewish. I don't know what kind of market there is for female Jewish comedians. I'm like, is there any other kind? It was like, hello, Joan Rivers. I mean, I'll pass you because I think, and I was like, oh my God. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I worked it with Chicago City Limits.
Right.
We would do improv there, but not as a solo.
Okay. So,
but anyway, I've lost my place now.
so I was
yes.
talking about getting to the.
So Oh Fine then gets produced, but we're doing little teasers at downstairs at the duplex
Right.
to get people to come upstairs to see our cabaret.
Right.
Bob Hope's nephew, Peter Malatesta, who's Dolores's nephew.
Right.
Bob Hope's is there. He decides he wants to produce this off Broadway. He has a whole thing with Washington. He was Spiro Agnew's aide. And
Wow.
And he's connected to everybody,
Right.
old show business. So here I
Right.
am, 1982. I have this off-Broadway show, and I'm sitting backstage at Westbury talking to Bob Hope
Right.
for a half an hour.
No way.
And getting drunk with Phyllis Diller at Brandy's.
Oh, I love Brandy.
Oh, my God.
That's just for excitement. Okay.
And, then we have this little off-Broadway show, which they
Right.
totally fucked up. But
Which you learned a lot from.
Oh,
You
I learned a
said.
lot.
You learned that
Learned a lot.
that you have to own your stuff and no
gotta-
one else fucking tells you what to do.
That's
Go ahead.
right.
Yes, but that was
That's
good lesson to learn.
yeah,
All right.
so I met all these wonderful people. Steve Allen. Steve Allen told me I was talented.
Oh, I love
How
Steve
about
Allen.
that?
Oh
So-
my God.
So that was an incredible time. But then, here's the story on getting into the cellar. Briefly, the piano player there, Charles Zucker, who was Bill Cronbest's sidekick, was
Right.
leaving. The cellar, Bill wanted to have another sidekick.
Right.
I was the only kind of funny piano player in there.
Right.
There I was.
Right.
So,
And you,
So,
and that's how when I got into the cellar, it was Bill. It was
Bill.
Bill and you at
Bill
the
and me.
piano.
and so I would sidekick with him, and then I started redeveloping my stand-up again.
Right.
So that's how I started there.
You guys were great.
Oh, thank you. We had so much.
And I remember those. I mean, it was dead a lot of the time.
We used to have the waiters, the wait staff, and some of the comedians who would hang out for
Right.
late night. They'd sit in the room at 9 o'clock
Yeah.
because people would peek their head in, and if there was
Right.
nobody in the club, they wouldn't come in. So
Right.
we'd pretend there was an audience.
I used to sit in the corner. The borscht. I used to sit in the corner with.
Ding.
That'll be the
yeah,
name.
with
That'll be the name of your biography.
Yeah, the
Oh,
borscht.
the borscht.
with what the fuck is his name? He's the announcer on Saturday Night Live. This is fucking
Daryl Hammond.
Yeah, with Daryl. I used to sit in the back with Daryl, and I remember he'd go on late at night after he'd go to a meeting or something, and then he'd come in,
Right.
and then I'd be
Well,
like,
they were my-
"Do Phil Donahue, do this, do
Oh.
that." Yeah, he's fucking brilliant. Yeah,
But those were my late nighters. I used to run
Yeah.
this. I don't know. You were not a late nighter there, but were you?
I started. Yeah. But
when
then
I was running late night, and then people would come and hang out.
Yeah.
And there were all these weird people like David Tell.
Yeah.
And Sarah Silverman,
Yeah.
Weirdos.
Jim Gaffigan. Everybody had like 4 jokes.
Yeah,
This is
but
how
then-
long ago this
Yeah,
was.
it was, and we'd sit in that corner
Sit in that
thing.
corner.
Yeah, and then people started going to Boston Comedy Club. I got into Catch, so I started going to Catch. But
Yeah.
whatever. All right, so you and Bill are the Comedy Cellar. Did you ever tell Bill? Because Bill would pass the comics.
Yeah.
This is before Esty. And would you ever say, Bill, that one's not funny, or don't pass that one, or
No, I
tried to just,
sometimes people rubbed me the wrong way.
Right.
Especially if they were doing gay jokes. I'd
Right.
be like, "Really? You're gonna let that guy?" I'm sorry. That's Bill now. I
Sending
never
you a gay
told you,
joke.
but there was Mark Cohen, who I love.
Yeah.
Mark and I used to do a team thing together
Yeah.
too. But when he first came through, I was like, I don't know, Bill. This
Yeah.
guy is not.
Yeah.
But
I loved him.
But no, I never really told Bill what my
Right.
opinion was. But I was just happy to have the job.
So
yeah.
you worked there, and in the meantime, you what year did Esty come in?
Well, Esty had always been there.
Right,
Esty was the
manager, sort of.
she was the office manager.
Right.
And she was also married to the fellow who was in Manny's band.
Yes, Manny. Yeah.
So she was part of the family.
Right.
I think when Bill went to L.A. and I'm going to say Esty started booking the place in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Because there was an assist Manny,
Right.
and then somebody.
It's a Jewish
I know.
place. Let's just do
It's a
this
Jewish
for
place.
the Comedy Cellar.
Jewish
Okay,
place.
so
I'm just trying to get the litany, but
right,
Esty's
right.
been there since before
okay.
I was there.
And so why did Bill leave?
Because Bill decided he was going to go out to L.A.
Right.
and
Be a star?
writer.
Oh, be a writer.
And he did. He went out there,
Right.
and after a year or so, he became the head writer for Mad About You.
Right.
So that's
Paul
pretty
Reiser.
good.
That's a Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser thing. Yeah.
So who did you see? Well, you saw Sarah and Mark, but you used to
I actually
see
said that-
like the Larry Millers and the
Larry Miller,
yeah.
Rita Rudner,
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
John Manfrotati, John Mendoza. Do you remember these people?
Oh my God, I loved them. Manfrotati was fucking hilarious.
I still
Yeah.
talk to him every once in a
I
while.
love him.
We had some of the best
Yeah.
people who
I loved going
are
there.
legends.
And it was all right. So
And we had some of the worst people.
Right.
But at least back then,
Right.
you give them a shot.
right.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it's such a different thing now. There were no bringer shows. You know, it wasn't like you had to bring a certain amount of people. It was like, and people wrote, and people got on stage and did it. And when you had an audition, it was live. It wasn't fucking taped, you know, and you pick out which one you want. You know, it was ridiculous. All right.
Sure.
You end up getting, you're on Broadway with Martin Short and Bernadette Peters
My
in
first
the Goodbye
off-Broadway
Girl.
show.
Yeah.
Yes. My first Broadway show.
Broadway show. So, did that come from an audition or?
This is how worlds collide. I had heard that through another comedian that Jay Binder, the casting director.
I remember him.
Yeah, he's still around.
Oh, he is. He hasn't cast me in anything. Go ahead.
They were looking for a comedian to be in this musical.
Right.
A comedian who could sing. Mm-hmm. So, and it was at Stand Up New York, Kerry Hoffman. And
I was just on a panel with him. He wouldn't shut the fuck up. So.
But anyway, I called Kerry. I got onto the show.
Yeah.
And
this is the audition.
This is the audition. So I go up at Stand Up New York. I've got my guitar because they don't have a piano. Or maybe I brought my keyboard. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I went up. I did jokes. I did everything that I thought they needed. And then I closed with a funny song.
Right.
You know, belted it out.
Yeah.
Jay Brinder brings me into a regular audition.
Right.
A theater audition. So I come in and I do my song.
And those are in, just for everyone knows, you go to sort of a rehearsal studio.
Yeah.
There's windows. There's a fold-up table and chairs and just people sitting behind there judging.
Right. And in this one, there was only, I think there was just Jay and his assistant and the piano player. So we do this. I go in. I read the script. I read the sides.
Right.
I sing the songs. And then he said, okay, we're going to call you back. So he calls me back. My callback, though, now this is old show business, is at the Broadhurst Theater.
No way!
Old-fashioned kind of, and I have to go out there. There's a piano on the stage, director, and in the audience, several rows back, is Neil Simon,
Shut up.
Marvin Hamlish, Gene Sachs, and Graciela Danielle. Right? There's... And
I would have fucking, I would have like peed.
I almost died. But what I said was, oh my God, this is, and I'm 36 at the time, so it's like I've been waiting for a break.
Right.
And I had to talk myself out of it. I had to get angry at the nerves.
Right.
I said, no, you've been working this the whole time. You have not come here to fuck this up.
It's so fucking in your head. It's so fucked up.
So I just did a college with 1,000 drunk people yelling at me, and I can certainly work this goddamn dump of a theater.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how
you have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
And then I went out. I did the songs. I was loose. They vocalized me and the whole thing. I did everything they wanted me to do. And then thank you very much. And I got off. And then afterwards,
then you're supposed to forget about it.
Well, then my knees buckled.
Yeah.
I came off the stage. Okay.
Right.
What did I just do? And then that night they called me. They said, we're going to use you. So.
Oh my God.
You got the part.
That feeling, that must have been the greatest.
It was, yes.
And did you think at that time, that's it?
I did.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the fucking sick part of this business. Mm-hmm. You get the first big, and you're like, that's it. I did it.
I'm in.
You know, I'm in. It's like when you said earlier, well, I don't plan on not making it. You know.
Right.
Oh wait, I think I heard you say that. Your parents would be like,
yeah.
Oh, but and you'd be like, well, no, you know.
Yeah, it would be like, you know.
Yeah, my parents used
if you don't make it, it's like, what makes you think I'm not making it?
Right, exactly.
You
so that's great. So how long did that show run?
That was not a good show.
Right, Goodbye Girl. It said goodbye after about 200 or something. I don't
know. We ran from March to August.
Okay.
But then we how
did you go on the road?
We in Chicago.
Yeah.
Is where we did the preview.
That's awesome.
So for the holidays, I drove to Chicago. I was there. So all my friends and family got to see me.
Oh my God.
In the Goodbye Girl.
Any fuckheads from high school come?
I hope so.
Yeah. Fucking assholes.
I oddly enough, I don't think my theater my high school friends were theater goers.
Right.
You know, but
oddly enough,
had I appeared at a monster truck show, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. WWE.
Yeah, but that was my way
now
in.
Is Goodbye Girl nose job time?
Oh, it's after nose job time.
Right. So now,
I was 29 when I did the.
And
nose
what
job.
was who told you to do a nose job?
Oh, I had wanted to do it.
Oh, all right.
Forever.
Who was your doctor?
My doctor. Oh.
Because my girlfriend Elisa had a nose job.
Did she?
Yeah, all her sisters and her mother. It's like a thing. The rhinoplasty.
Yeah.
She went to Dr. Guy, and he died of AIDS.
I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes per details.